Could you tell me a little bit about the plan to use 3D printing to construct a new amenities block at Lions Park?
It goes back a little way. One of our councillors brought forward a notice of motion to council several months ago about reserving some blocks of land in a land release next year, a residential land release, and reserve 4 blocks of land specifically for 3D houses. So we wanted someone to come along and buy those blocks, or 4 different companies, buy those blocks of land and print 3D houses on them. You couldn't have a normal construction on those 4 blocks. We were actually quite impressed or even blown away by the amount of interest that was shown by various companies in Australia and from overseas about that particular project. Now, that's not till next year. That land won't be ready till sometime next year. And we thought there might be an opportunity to do something sooner than that. So we're actually going forward, and there was an amenities block in Lions Park in Dubbo that was due for replacement. It's an old amenities block, needs to be updated. And so we were going to go out to tender for that in the short time frame that we had available for that reconstruction there. But we thought maybe this is a good chance for some of these manufacturers to show off what they can do with 3D printing, and more than that, actually potentially deliver something that's cheaper for the community of Dubbo and get it done a bit faster. So we've gone out now to 5 different, or we actually went out to any quotations to anyone that could provide that particular process, 3D printing. We got 5 responses back from companies that were ready to go. We've gone through an assessment process there, and basically we're now inviting tenders to come in. We'll assess those tenders and then award some company there, the project of 3D printing that amenities block.
And how long is it set to take to build that amenities block?
It's hard to know. One of the advantages of 3D printing is it is very fast to print. Now, we've got the tenders open until the 10th of November, so there's still a little way to go for the tenders. Then there'll be an assessment process before we actually award the tender. But in some of the videos that I've watched from around the world, the construction part that you use the 3D printing for can be as quick as a couple of days. And rather than do bricks, laying bricks, which is obviously a process that takes some period of time, or doing concrete slabs that you stand up, or tilt slabs that you stand up there, then the 3D printing is basically done there on site. So essentially it looks a bit like toothpaste coming out of the nozzle, and it goes along and lays layer by layer of the actual printing process. So I think it'll be pretty quick to do that. You've still got all the other parts of a building to do. You've still got to do the plumbing. You've still got to do the fit out of the other components. In a toilet block, you've still got the toilets to put in, those sort of things. So there's still those components. But I think people are pretty fascinated watching the process unfold.
Plans to, I know you talked about there's plans to do houses in the future, but is there any plans to do any more kind of test runs like this amenities block?
If this works out as well as I hope it works out, then I can see a different attitude by our council. But also, I'm at a local government conference in the Hunter Valley right now, and I've already had some other councillors from other council areas asking me about 3D printing and how we're progressing with it. So I dare say there'll be some other councils across the state, probably across the nation, who'll be interested to see how this goes. So not only in Dubbo, but I think you'll see more of this 3D printing technology used in different constructions, small constructions, larger constructions across the entire state and possibly across the entire nation. The next part will be very exciting when we actually see it going up.